Welcome back, family. YAH, Royal Family. This is part two. It actually says UFOs, IFOs, or Chariots. That's the actual heading. So I just want to bring, ones to far as this understanding or awareness. And I just want to put forth out this effort to say, of course, I'm still learning. I don't know everything. I'm still seeking the Almighty for even further revelations. But we need to go deeper as people, as Israelites. We need to go even deeper. And ones who, I'll consider Gentiles or, strangers. We need to go deeper. We got to go deeper, family. We got to. Because we're so close to our end, and if we're not understanding this, we're still picturing things as Christianity have painted it. Then we have to understand what is what. So this is a website that it actually shows the different people who have input information about them seeing a UFO or spacecraft or a chariot, and it comes out every month. And this is National UFO Reporting. This, to my understanding, don't have anything to do with NASA, but I find it very interesting because they went back all the way to 1940 something and actually have it documented. So let's just take a look at this. Click on this button here, and it's going to take you to for July is 396 different reports, sightings. In June 450, May 515, and actually you can see all the way down something about 2014 according to this website. It was over 1,114 sightings. Now, these are people seeing sightings, and they're actually inputting comments. Okay, so I'm just going to walk you through some, and I'll share this link, and you're welcome to check it out on your own. So this person is coming from on the 25th from I want to say Kittis. I'm not Washington. It says the shape up was diamond. They actually look like they put this in twice. It says red, white, and blue circle among stars in Kittis, Washington, and Renton, Washington. There was another one on the 20th. Okay, and that was 15 minutes duration there. And it says usually bright star-like object low on horizon near city. In Regina, Canada, SK, it's two separate lights moving towards each other, stopped and made a full rotation around each other, then proceeded in opposite direction. So you can take your time and go through and look through it. So what I'm, understanding, I've always been one to look at the clouds, love to look at the clouds, but like I say, I believe the Almighty do things in measures. He line things up for us to find out and learn more about, to bring us into full understanding. Okay, He is well aware. He is well capable. He is in control to know what is on this earth or in this earth. Okay, so when one say the fallen angels, well, accordingly, the fallen angels already fell. The world has been given over to the wicked. Who was ruling the earth? It says the wicked. So how could they, be wicked if they're not being, dealt with and actually guided and whatnot by Satan? So once, if you have any more information about fallen angels you want to share, you're welcome. I'm open, family. I'm learning too, but I just want to, make this known that we don't need to be afraid of nothing. Our Father Almighty, you believe in Almighty, you believe that He is in complete control. And He, of course, this stemmed from a actual, yesterday I did a video on a camp that was out on Saturday. And they were in the midst of, doing their daily, out there on the Sabbath, teaching, and this other group came up and wanted to debate them, right? And so they was at it for about 2 or 3 hours, going back and forth, debating. So the leader, the chief that was over the camp, he didn't know if he did a great job. He felt he was drained. He was like, he stood up for the gospel. So on the way going to the car, another guy showed up from someplace else, wanted to debate him. And as he's walking, going to the car, he said, well, man, get with us next week. He was really nice to the guy. And this guy, all of a sudden in the left of the camera, you saw a circle, a white circle. And then someone say, chariots, UFOs. And they turned up and they look around. They said it was over 50 of them out there. And I believe this happened in New York. 50. So, but you have to understand that when, accordingly to some other brothers, whenever they're out teaching, it appears too into the sky. And that's confirmation. There was another Hebrew brother who used to pray in Paleo Hebrew, and they were actually calm, as well. So for ones to say this is demonic or whatnot, it's in the Bible. It says about, the spacecraft, and it might not say it in words, but look at Ezekiel, look at Enoch, look at the wheel within the wheel. Where we think the song came from, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. It ain't talking about no horses in the air and the swing home to carry me home. It was talking about a wheel within a wheel. So I'm just putting this out there so everyone can go deeper than what they have been, okay, into this. And know that no demon, no being of anything you will be afraid of. The only person that we need to fear is the Almighty, YAH, the Most High. So when people have dreams and they're saying things and people are saying, well, this is what, I dreamt, or this is what I wouldn't do if this happened, it could be Satan. It could come in that form, try to impersonate ahead of time, as Carrie said, and that's true. But we can't not take out the fact that the Bible speaks of this, of how the chariots will come and how the chariots look. So that's why I said we got to go deeper. We got to go deeper. Okay. So this is the website, and I'll show that with, share that link with you as well. So, all right, family. So I'm back. Now, this is Cosmic Slop. This is a movie that was put out in 1994 by HBO, and it's so, far as close to what the Bible is speaking of in so many ways of us being Israelites. So let's just check a little bit of this footage out, and I will share the link as well. I'm not going to show all of it for the sake of time, okay? So it's called Cosmic Slop, and it only showed on HBO, and it's a reason pretty sure.
They call me the doctor. I'm the head man around here.
Alien signal was first received some 3 months ago. Speculation has run rampant as to their appearance, the size and shape of their craft. Oh my God! Literally, a killer spacecraft have just materialized from nowhere right over our heads. This is absolutely amazing. And this is literally an unbelievable sight. As I look to my left, I see Vice President D'Amato and Secretary of State Buchanan approaching the microphone. For those of you who are concerned, President Taylor, of course, is safe and secure in an undisclosed bunker until it's determined whether or not the aliens pose any threat.
Hello? Hello? Is this on? Can you understand me? I'm the Vice President of...
We are space traders bearing exquisite gifts that will restore your nation to its former glory. Nearly limitless quantities of gold and precious metals that will instantly erase your deficit. Machines that will renew your rivers and your air. Cold fusion technology for a safe, cheap, and inexhaustible source of energy. All we ask in return is the delivery to our vessels. 5 days from now, every child, woman, and man in your nation with at least 2,500 milligrams of melanin in their skin per square centimeter.
What the hell is melanin?
Put more simply, in trade for solving all your most pressing domestic catastrophes, we are asking for every person in your country that you would classify as black.
Are you kidding?
No, we are not.
What are you going to do with them?
Well, that does not concern you. We give you 5 days to decide, and the offer is non-negotiable. We will not try to coerce you in any way, yet I hope we can do some business together.
We wait all this time for a fucking UFO and they come here with this? It's all bullshit, right? Right.
Maybe. Maybe this day's going to go down in history. An end to poverty. End to pollution. Cheap, unlimited energy for every American. Sounds like a hell of a re-election platform.
Sam, I have to go on record as saying this is crazy.
But what?
Well, welfare rolls would be cut 40%. Food stamps, Medicare, drug abuse programs slashed.
May I add something, Mr. President? You know, if I could guarantee the prosperity of this great country by giving life or taking off of those space traders, I'd do so without a moment's hesitation.
You know, the Secretary's courage is not unlike that American men and women have exhibited when called to military service. Well, some go more willingly than others, but almost all go.
That many whites would feel for sending the blacks away could take a severe psychological toll, with medical costs possibly reaching astronomical levels.
So as you see there, this is actually made it like it's in America. Benson, I call him Benson. He was on a show many years ago, but he's the only so-called black person on the board. That's actually the president was the first person talking. The person that was on the beach, because they were waiting on this far as the UFOs to come in, because they had got signal from this high humming in their ear to know that, you know, that they're near and they're coming. And so the vice president stayed back while the president was, you know, in the bunkers or wherever they were. And so Benson, as you see it going to unfold, he is married to a person, she is considered black, but she is not melanated enough, so she won't be able to go. So this is very, you know, ironic how this is, you know, have surfaced back up. And not only that, it just show you a whole lot about where a lot of our, you know, Israelite brothers and sisters believe how similar that this will come to happen. And I know some of you may not believe because of, you know, you might not have not been studied and you just might not understand and know this truth to whatever degree. But I'm just saying to you all to go deeper, you know, seek the Almighty for even further, because even though what Carrie is saying, she's saying, yes, that they came and they were this and that. They could be in perpetrators, but the truth of the true deal could come later. But the Almighty know all things. We cannot forget that. But I don't want you all to think just one-sided. Just open up your understanding to whoever's watching, who will listen to this, to all things, to make it to whereas you dig deep, you dig deeper than you know, ever did. And because the time is now, more and more stuff is going to unfold. So I'm going to take your attention to another video. Now, these are my brothers. I want to say Abbott is his page. And he's breaking down about UFOs and about the Chariots, okay? And he did a whole spill. I'm not going to be on there that long, but just bear with me one moment. Okay, so this is my brother, Hebrew brother named Adam Abbott. I want to say I forgot what group he's with, but just listen to him for a bit. He did this video back in 2017, in-depth UFO breakdown, Chariots of Israel. So for ones who need to understand, the Almighty have put prophets they're out there on the streets. These prophets been out on the streets for almost 30-something years. If you take a moment to listen to them and get past what one say, oh, they're being rude, or they're cursing and they're carrying on, we got to understand this whole truth. Who said what word is a curse word? Where at in the Bible said that whatever they may say is a curse word? Who came up with the words that say it's a curse word? The so-called white man. So we got to go beyond that. And also when it comes down to them telling the truth about the fate of America and what's going to happen, they're speaking truth. They're telling about the fate of each man, each nation. We got to go deeper, family. We just got to go deeper. Get out of your feelings and just get to the core, because we right now embarking on something that the Almighty is going to bring forth. And with all these different prophecies, who said that the people who accordingly things didn't already happen and what we still waiting upon? I'm putting my trust in the Almighty, that anything that happened, I'm not looking at each day to do a check off to say, oh, this happened, that happened. No, hey, I'm ready. I want to work towards being ready every day. It's not about you following other people or people following you. It's about each person building a personal relationship to know the Almighty for themselves and let him lead you to who he wants you to go to. Because whoever he sent you to, they got a message for you. And that person might have a message just one time. That don't mean for us to camp on their pages and say, oh, because we become what? Merchandise to them. We become a way to have them to what? Look upon themselves and to lose understanding of their purpose in some ways. And some people, hey, they on point. But some people get caught up within themselves. And everybody else is this, but they're who they want to be and who they feel like they've been called to be. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm not saying that I'm perfect in man's sight, but hey, I want to be perfect in my Almighty sight, the Most High. So we're going to hear this for a bit, and then we're going to close out.
Jake want to pimp my ride, and I'm going to put the stereo system right here, and I'm going to make it all black on black with the tinted windows on black and the thing in the trunk. And that's how YAH hooked up these chariots, man. He a so-called black man. Ephesians 3:9. And to make all men see what is the fellowship of the mystery, which from the beginning of the world had been hid in God, who made all things by Hamashiach Yahushua. So the Most High, he made all things, but he used a man to make all things. That man that he used was Yahushua. So Yahushua, he made the chariots. You understand? He made the various angels. He made the mountains and the hills and the rivers of water and the lightning and the rain and the clouds and the rhinoceros and the giraffe and the lion and the leopard. He made all types of creatures, man. He made everything. Even the spirits. They were made by Yahushua. He was the first creation, and the Lord used him to make all things, even these chariots that we just gave you a description of. Let me see if this, I believe this should have apocrypha, yep. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and 1. Alright, let's check this out. 2nd Ezra 6 and 1. And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew, before it thundered and lightning, or ever the foundation of paradise was laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together. So even before the angels were made, man, or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys of Zion were hot, or ever the present years were sought out, and or ever the inventions of them that now sin are turned, before they that were sealed, that have gathered faith for a treasure. Meaning even before the elect spirits were made, man. Before the spirit of Paul was made, before the spirit of Peter was made, before the spirit of John and King David was made, man. Before the elect spirits were made, before everything that was created that you see and can't see was made, even the angels. This is what the Lord said. Before they was made, then did I consider these things, and they were all made through me alone, and through none other. By me also shall they be ended, and by none other. So he's the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. So he made all things, man. So you read about the chariots, they didn't just pop up out of nowhere. Yahushua made these chariots, man. You have gold chariots and silver chariots and huge and great clouds and different. It tells you when Yahushua comes back, he's flying upon the fathership, man. Esau calls it the mothership because he's an effeminate man. Yeah, he's a faggot. He's emotional. My mothership. And look, man, that's the fathership, man. And where did Yahushua get the blueprint from? He got it from his father Yahweh. All right, to make everything.
That's why Yahushua, he's that top spirit under Yahweh.
Right.
Angel.
Yep. On the right hand side. All right, and all spirits and powers are made subject unto him. So he's the one that directs the chariots to go here and go to war here and fulfill this mission there, because he's with the Lord of Hosts, man. That's in his bosom. These chariots they move in armies. They have battle formations. All right, let's go back to Zechariah 5:1. Zechariah 5:1. All right, Zechariah 5:1. So we're showing you about the chariots. These are not little green men inside of these. You know what I'm saying? It's not Area 51 or a lot. We know what the chariot's talking about. Zechariah 5:1.
Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll.
Now, is that a flying scroll? People say that's a scroll, a big sheet of paper. That's not what it's talking about. All right?
To be carnally minded is death.
Right, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace, man. Go on.
And he said unto me, what seest thou?
So the angels, the Lord sent the angel come down to give, because the angels come down to give you revelations. They come down and break things down to you. Spiritual things that you can't understand, the angels are sent down there to give you understanding. That's why when Ezra couldn't understand certain things, the Lord sent who? Uriel the archangel to give him understanding on all things. All right? When Samson's father, Manoah, couldn't understand what was going on, and his wife, they was trying to, the Lord sent the angel down there, man. The angels are sent forth to minister unto those that shall be heirs of salvation. I can tell you that in Hebrews. Those are spirits too that the Most High made through his son Yahushua. All right, so this angel was sent down to this prophet Zechariah. And he said, hey man, what do you see? All right, go on. What seest thou?
What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll.
What is a flying roll? A chariot, a so-called UFO. All right, let's go back to the picture. Now we can go to more pictures. You're probably sick of seeing that picture, but you can even all you gotta do is type in UFO. All right, you go to UFOs because that's what Esau calls them. But now these are the chariots right here, man. Right, this is the wheel inside the wheel. This is what Zechariah saw. Ezekiel saw. Behold, a flying roll. All right. You got different pictures like this. More, Esau wanted to be artistic and animated, and but we giving you an overall idea. This is what they would look like. Flying rolls, all right. The angel said, "What do you see?" He said, "I see this, man." Now, why didn't Zechariah say that's a chariot?
All right, family. So, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. You welcome to see. I didn't start it at the top of the video. I already had it over a little bit playing, but I'm just saying to each person who don't know, don't understand, this, go deeper. Go deeper. Go deeper. Because we don't want to say, oh, these are, spacecrafts, and it's a where they they're impersonating it, and you telling them, I don't want, if wherever your child is at or wherever you at, and you're like, oh, I'm not dealing with it. We should know the Almighty voice when we should have discernment to say, oh, don't do this, don't do that. Just like when he led me to come home 2 days early because there were robbers who were going to rob my house. Just like when he led me to give $50 to someone, and the exact amount that he told me to give when I got to that person and start talking to that person, they needed that exact amount. I have many testimonies of the Almighty leading and guiding me. But you want to know. You want to know. And this is what surfaced. I want to share this. There was a day that I was working with this company and was snowing. And in the parking lot and, into the city, it was really bad. And we were going to trail each other, about 8 of us. But I stepped back to use the restroom, and they were like, we'll wait. But when I came out of the restroom, they were gone. So when I got out of the parking lot, I was like, Father, just like what I'm going to do. I saw the tire tracks going to my left, but he told me to go to my right. And I went to my right. And it was on the interstate where no cars was at. Hardly, But where they went was heavy congested. So I got home in 15, 20 minutes. And my friends who left me, they got home anywhere between 4 to 6 hours later. So when he leads you, we got to know where he's leading us to. When there is evil around us, we got to believe and know that he's going to shield us. He's going to shield us from the evilness. Period. We got to know his voice. It's good that he give prophetic dreams and words, to his prophetess and prophets to share. But each person needs to have a relationship with him, period. Not just one person and you listen to that one person and that's all that one person, you just wait and for them to put out videos, or me to put out videos, or my brothers or whoever to put out videos. No, is that each person should be spending quality time with him each day. We should know him personally. We should be able to hear his voice and know when he speaks to us. And when it says test a spirit to see what that spirit is about, yes, if you test a spirit, you want to know that. This morning there was a scripture given to me. It wasn't even the exact numbers on the actually verses. And you rebuke that demon. You're like, oh, go to this scripture and it's on this, under this verse, and that verse wasn't even there. So I tried the spirit, but when I knew, I rebuked it. I resist it. I reject it. So, family, again, reason why I say something is about to happen because I feel it within my spiritual realm and the Almighty, the way he's leading and guiding me and the things that he has me doing and others. He did not tell me exactly when, what time, and what he's going to do, but I do know judgment is here. I just had a dream the other morning about recompense. I did a video on that, and that was that actually is about restoration, reparation. That what was said to me in the dream, those words, like recompense, but it was like saying in another language, but when I heard it, I knew what they were saying in English. Okay? All right, family. So let's just get closer to the Almighty and to his Son and pray that the Ruach come upon us even heavily and to guide us and shield us with our angels and for us to understand of what we don't know, what we don't understand. Because if you got to know, if it was so much of this being that wicked, these vessels are these chariots, they would have been on earth walk. You don't think they would have been already invade us by now? Walking around taking over. The Father said he gave the world over to the wicked. They would have been there and took over. They're in spiritual where we can't see them. Yes, they're spirits, demons that looking to dwell and to, enter people bodies. Yes, I do know that. But, in other words, I don't want to leave no one in having you to think that Satan, don't have a way that what he's going to come across. But the Almighty is more powerful, period. All right, family. Blessings to each one of you. And I'll share these links. Shalom.